Press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update.
What should have been the most important political story of the week, the Congress choosing its new president or choosing its old president as its new president yet again, has got a little bit buried with attention being focused so much on Kashmir. But this is an important event. And I now see a lot of commentary. There's a lot of people, not necessarily friends of the BJP, who are mocking the Congress now for going back to the past. They are saying, oh, Congress looks ahead by reinventing the past. Now, that is reasonable criticism, and that is, I would say, factually correct criticism. But this is not realistic criticism, because Congress has not become like this now. To say that Congress has become a family-run party or a darbar or a feudal darbar since Sonia Gandhi's rise is not correct. Congress has been a feudal Nehru-Gandhi family darbar since 1950, 1947 onwards. In fact, it's taken some time, but if you go back and check the history of the Congress, and I will talk a little bit about that without boring you with too much of historical detail. If you go back to the foundation of the Congress, you find that year after year, Congress has had very diverse presidents. Funny thing is, for a party that claims to be the most secular party in India, the largest secular party in India, which has always claimed the Muslim vote like its bequest in India, the last time two Muslims headed the Congress party was in 1923. So it tells you that this party in the past, not 7 decades, but maybe 9 or 10 decades, has changed itself. Now, Gandhi-Nehru family controlling the Congress party. Nehru was president of the Congress party twice before independence. Nehru's father, Motilal Nehru, was also president of Congress party twice before independence. After independence, Nehru was, and you will see the list behind me, Nehru was president of the Congress party for many years. Then came UN Debar, and then again, what happened? Indira Gandhi came in, then Kamraj came in for some time, and then once Kamraj went away, then Mrs. Gandhi appointed some Congress presidents, but those were really her head clerks. And increasingly, the office of the Congress president was diminished into that of a chief staff officer to Indira Gandhi until she herself took over the party. And since then, since I would say Mrs. Gandhi's second coming as head of the Congress in 1978. It's now been 41 years since 1978. Of these 41 years, for how many years has a non-Nehru Gandhi been the president of the Congress party? Only 7 years. And what were these 7 years? These were those 7 very tumultuous or uneasy years with Rajiv Gandhi's assassination, when Rajiv Gandhi was assassinated very young. Sonia Gandhi was not yet ready for politics. In fact, she was reluctant for a long time. In the interim, you saw Narasimha Rao and you saw Sitaram Kesri. So the less said about those tenures is better. The body of one wasn't even allowed to be brought into AICC, although he was former Prime Minister who gave the Congress party 5 years in power. The other one is completely forgotten, almost like an enemy of the people in the Congress history book. So to say that this has changed just now is not correct. The other thing, to even say that being run by the dynasty means Congress cannot get power or cannot grow, is also incorrect. Because in these 41 years since Mrs. Gandhi took over, count the number of years, Congress has not been out of power. So Congress was not out of power between 1977 and 79, just about 2 years of the Janta. It was again not out of power directly when VP Singh came in briefly, again VP Singh followed by Chandrasekhar very briefly, again not out of power for 6 years of Atal Bihari Vajpayee, and now 6 years under Narendra Modi, or 5.5 years under Narendra Modi. Why do we make a distinction of directly and indirectly in power? Because even in this period, they were governments which were not Congress governments and which did not include the Congress, but Congress still controlled those governments. So Chandrasekhar's government controlled by the Congress from outside. After that, United Front government, Gowda, Gujral, not controlled by the government, not including the Congress, but run by Congress from outside. So Congress has been in power in these 41 years for almost 25, 6 plus 6, 12 and 2, 14 and one of VP Singh's 15. So if you take out 15 years, 26 years, Congress has still been in power. This is in spite of the Mandir, Mandal, everything. So from the Congress point of view, what they've had so far is working. What did not work for them was one scion of this family, that was Rahul Gandhi. So Rahul Gandhi failed, so they are going back to someone who had worked for them. Having said that, let me also use this opportunity to tell you something about the Congress. And this is not something that my friends in the Congress party would like, but they all know it. They don't talk about it, but they all know it. And I will read up the names of many other distinguished Congress leaders who graced the office of Congress president in the past. Almost all of them are people you know and you've heard of, even our children have heard of, because they are such familiar names. And I think in most parts of the country, there is something named after them, some landmark named after them. And then I will ask you a trick question. So go right back. I'm just going back sort of arbitrarily. So if I go to Gopal Krishnan Gokhale, 1905. So I'm going back almost 115 years. Where is he in the Congress pantheon today? He's not even seen as a loyal congressman. He's in fact been purged from Congress's memory. I'm waiting for Narendra Modi and Amit Shah now to declare him a proper national leader in the BJP's nationalist pantheon. Come downwards from there. I'm leaving out Dadabhai Naoroji, Rashbihari Ghosh, Madan Mohan Malviya, Congress president in 1909, 110 years ago, right, when the Congress was still being formed. Today, if you ask Congress's new left secularists, they will call him a right-wing thug, right, who set up Banaras Hindu University. And who has now owned him up? The BJP. Then, and I'm not making a secular communal point today, I'm making another point, and I will come to that, and that's a brutal point. Then you come down, Nawab Syed Muhammad Bahadur, as I said, only couple of Muslim presidents ever. And come lower down, you become more modern. Madan Mohan Malviya, I mentioned to you. Lala Lajpat Rai. Remember the man who was killed by the lathi blows of the British campaigning against the Simon Commission just a year after Jallianwala Bagh? He was the president of the Congress party. What do we have named after him in our cities? This is Lajpat Nagar, which is a refugee colony in Delhi. But again forgotten, dismissed over time and purged over time by the Congress as a Hindu Arya Samaji right-winger. Let's go further down. Now we get into a sequence of Motilal Nehru, Jawaharlal Nehru, Motilal Nehru, Jawaharlal Nehru, broken up a little bit. Again Madan Mohan Malviya, then Dr. Rajendra Prasad. First president of India, he had that famous fight with Nehru over whether government of India should get involved in rebuilding the Somnath temple or not. And against Nehru's advice, he went to Somnath. Since then, dismissed as a right-wing thug. In any case, who the hell is he? Why should he leave any legacy behind in the Congress? Because the Nehru-Gandhi family took over. So gone. The president after Rajendra Prasad, again Nehru. And after that, and this is the tricky one, Subhash Chandra Bose, president of the Congress party, now forgotten. Congress party rarely even observes his death and birth anniversaries. His entire family has gone away to the BJP, essentially because the Congress party no longer had space for another dynasty, because every other leader of the past was seen as a competitor and not worthy of this position, and children they left behind or the dynasties they left behind were seen to be, one, as competition, and second, unworthy of the Congress party. And then you come further down, it gets worse and worse. J.B. Kriplani, Acharya Kriplani, the president of the party in 1947. What happened? Ultimately, he was purged. He became like the like the right-wing answer or right liberal answer to Nehru, forgotten, buried after that. His memory is buried and nobody is willing to claim him. Then you come further down, again we get Jawaharlal Nehru back and Debar. Neelam Sanjeeva Reddy, thrown out of the Congress in 1969, later became President of India, supported by the Janata Party, which included the old guard of the Congress, which Mrs. Gandhi had thrown out. He was President of the Congress Party. Then Kamraj, then Nijlingappa, what happened to him? Again thrown out of the Congress, post 1969 purge, again went to the opposition. Devkant Barua, Indira is India, he went into oblivion. Nobody, in fact, I used to see him in Nagaon, sitting lonely in his home when I covered the Northeast, living there. And his biggest complaint in life was nobody even remembers him. Nobody even sends him birthday greetings. And I'm talking of 1981, 82, 83. That period when I was posted in the Northeast, not 20 years after the emergency, after Indira is India. And then you had two other presidents, P.V. Narasimha Rao and Sitaram Kesri, and I have told you what happened to them. So this is the history of a party and which shows the party's culture. Now let me ask you, as I told you that I will ask you a trick question. The trick question is, how come everybody who has been the president of the Congress party since the rise of the Nehru-Gandhi family at the top, almost everybody has either been purged or dismissed as a turncoat or ideologically impure or has joined the opposition. So this has become a feudal darbar for a long time. And that's the reason nobody really wanted to throw his Gandhi cap in the ring to say, I will become president of the party. I'm contesting, because everybody knew the fate of so many former presidents of the Congress party, all these eminent people, as I said, whose birth and death anniversaries are also no longer observed. Remember Jagjeevan Ram, he was the president of the Congress party before Mrs. Gandhi. What happened to him? Soon enough, he left the Congress party, he set up Congress for Democracy, he went with Janata Party. His daughter was later accommodated, quote unquote, Meera Kumar in the Congress party, never given any real power. If you ask the Congress people, say, oh, but we made her speaker. We made her speaker. That shows you the psychology of the Congress party. So you can have an editorial view on it. You can say this is wrong, this is right. That's a valid argument. But to say that this Congress could have suddenly pushed away the Gandhi family and they would have gone away and somebody else would take over and that somebody else would be empowered and that somebody else would go to sleep even for one night believing that his memory and legacy and fate will be any different than that of Jagjeevan Ram or Narasimha Rao or Sitaram Kesri or Madan Mohan Malviya or Gokhale, I think that would be a big mistake. That's why Congress has taken the only option available to it at this point.